An extraordinary incident from Jewish history speaks to today's question of what to do with statues of controversial figures from America's past. The biblical book of Kings records, King Hezekiah did what was right in the eyes of Adonai, like all that his forebear King David had done. He abolished the raised altars, smashed the monuments, cut down the pillars, and ground up the bronze serpent that Moses had made. For until those days, the people of Israel were burning incense to it, and it was called Nehushtan. Knocking down altars and smashing idolatrous symbols was quotidian in the first millennium BCE Israel. But what was this bronze serpent that Moses had made? The story is told in the book of Numbers. But the people grew restive on the journey, and the people spoke against God and against Moses. Why did you make us leave Egypt to die in the wilderness? There is no bread and no water, and we have come to loathe this rotten food. Adonai sent Nahashim Seraphim, venomous serpents, against the people. They bit the people, and many Israelites died. The people came to Moses and said, we sinned by speaking against Adonai and against you. Intercede with Adonai to take away the serpents from us. And Moses interceded for the people. Then Adonai said to Moses, make a seraph figure and mount it on a standard. And if anyone who is bitten looks at it, that person shall recover. Moses made a bronze serpent, Nahash Nahoshet, and mounted it on a standard. And when anyone was bitten by a serpent, that person would look at the bronze serpent and recover. What was it that Hezekiah destroyed? A bronze serpent that God ordered Moses to make in order to heal people bit by venomous snakes. This was no golden calf or foreign idol. It was a sacred instrument specifically commanded by God for a worthy use. This extraordinary treasure from the past, a rare extant physical artifact from the period of wandering in the desert that was preserved in the temple for 500 years, this item was intentionally destroyed by the most powerful and divinely approved public figure, King Hezekiah. The Talmud references this episode as well. The sages taught, King Hezekiah did 6 things, 3 of which the sages approved and 3 of which they disapproved. One act on the approved list was, he ground up the bronze serpent. The account in Kings provides 2 distinct, complementary justifications for this destruction. The people were burning incense to it, it writes. That is, it had become a fetish. They were treating it with undue adulation, glorification, deification. At the same time, some called it Nehushtan, a diminutive, playing on the word Nahash, serpent or snake, and Nahoshet, bronze, which share the same root letters, a play which Rashi, Radak, and others hear as mocking. Perhaps people were embarrassed by the historic episode in which their ancestors complained and revolted over trivial matters and then required a remedy that seemed indistinguishable from idol worship, a replay of the golden calf incident, one of the most shameful episodes in our history. The bronze serpent was a stain, an embarrassing reminder of that unfaithfulness. And so it is in our day. Bronze and carved stone statues are idolized and glorified, depicting once heroic figures now viewed as compromised or undeserving. Some feel embarrassed by the thought that those who came before us adulated certain historical figures or were proud of the associated episodes, or by the thought that these figures were publicly exalted, even while much of the population viewed these honorees as war criminals or oppressors. I can guarantee you that 100 years ago, not everyone in this country viewed Calhoun and Columbus as heroes. And none of those contemporary statues were created by divine command. And so when someday, as I'm sure it will, a statue goes up honoring me for best results, put it up under an assumed name.